welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate that. If you're not already a subscriber, consider taking one little second, click right down below and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here from the bottom of my heart. So if you watched last week's first two little installments of some quilting and fabric type videos, then you know that we made our very own fabric out of scraps and crumbs. And let me show you, let me take out the little potentially harmful things out of there first. This is what we're going to make out of our very own fantastic, one-of-a-kind custom fabric. Can you see that? This is a different piece. It's not the one that I made in the video last week, and that's because I wanted to go ahead and make one this weekend to show you what we're going to do today, so you don't have to spend the entire video wondering what in the world are we going to make. I really don't like videos like that, but if you do, then there are tons of them out there. But I love these little pockets. It gives you plenty of places to put your tools on the outside. If you don't want the pockets, you can always do your basket the other way and the pockets would be on the inside. However, I think this is going to be really useful for me. I'm going to leave it sitting here on my table. That is now going to be a awesome little basket for me to just throw my little scraps in as I'm sitting here sewing on the machine. So let's show you how to get this cute little basket made. First, here is the fabric that I did make in the video last week. Did that not turn out beautiful? Let's see if you can see that. It's just so neat. I love, love, love it. One thing I will say, I told you something wrong last week. In the video, I said that I used interfacing, which I didn't. I actually used Heat and Bond Light. I do a ton of t-shirt quilts in here, and I've been using so much fusible interfacing, it is ridiculous. I just had it on the brain, but I would use Heat and Bond Light. That's what I did. And it has the sticky on one side, the paper on the other. Then you peel the paper off, and it also has the adhesive on the other side. One thing I did that made my life a little harder than you need to do is I went ahead, made my fabric, then I went ahead and put all this neat little stitching on here and everything. Then where the problem came in was when it was time to put my batting on here, then I had to go through and dig out all of those little paper pieces. So to save yourself probably about a good 10 minutes, once you have your fabric ironed onto the first side of your Heat and Bond, then I would peel off the paper backing, lay it on your batting, and go ahead and iron those together. Then do whatever stitching you're going to do to hold all these lovely little crumbs and scraps in there. But I went ahead and did that to save us some time because I don't want to keep you forever. But we're going to take that piece, and this was also in my scrap bin, this cute little blue and white polka dot. I've had it forever, and it was plenty big enough, so I just trimmed it down to exactly the same size as my newly made fabric. There we go. Make sure you put right sides together, the side you want to see of your lining and your newly made fabric. If you are a pinner, which if you hang around long enough, you're going to know I hate using pins. I prefer to use these awesome little clips, and I have a really good friend that brought me an entire container of those. So these are always right here at my sewing machine. So we're going to just take a few little clips just to hold it in place a little bit. And honestly, when it's just me working by myself, I'm probably not even going to do that much. But I will show you the correct way to do things, and then you do it however you want to. It's your world. You do as you see fit. But I'm just going to put a few little clips on there just to hold it in place. So maybe we will come up with a beautiful new project. Okay, now that you've got your clips on there to hold your fabrics in place, and again, right sides together, that is important. Then pick a side, and you're going to leave an opening probably like this far, just enough to where you can put your hand in there later and pull it right side out. And let's go ahead, and I'm just going to stitch right past where the batting is, and I apologize that you probably cannot even see this, but when it is a one-woman show, you do what you can. So really quickly, I'm going to stay right here, give myself an opening about this far, and I'm just going to quickly stitch all the way around the outside. Let's get that done. And as you come to your little clips, you know, just take those out. And yes, I sew very fast. I always have. Pull my little, oh, I've got a little string stuck there. Okay. See how neat that is to have my scissors right there? Just sew all the way around the outside. Pull your clips out as you come to them. And if you don't sew on the batting, then you're going to have a little less bulk when it comes time to turn it inside out. That one. Just whatever kind of thread you want to use, it really doesn't matter. There are no quilt police here. It's your basket, your creation. You do what you want to do. I think while I was talking, went off of the edge there. Oops. Let's get that fixed. And I should have, there we go. Let's move right along. We are almost done sewing this together. When I get to the corner, instead of staying straight, I like to just barely round off that little corner. It will make it a whole lot easier when you go to turn it inside out. Right here is where I started, so I'm going to stop right here in just a few little inches. Back stitch. Make sure I've got room to turn this around. Uh-oh. Now is a really good time to go around the outside. See if you missed any spots. Let's see here. Looking good. Uh-oh, I spoke too soon. Got one little strip right here that I need to fix right fast. So we will get that done. Back stitch just a little. And turn our little corner. And we should be good to go. Now I want to cut these strings off, these threads, because they're going right there in my awesome little thread collection for next time. Now here is what we need to do next. Take your little corners, just go around to all four sides and clip your little corners off. That will make it a whole lot easier to get nice corners when you go to flip it inside out. Okay, I've got my four little corners, and guess what I can do with those little scraps right there? Poof, right there in my little basket. Now, let's find our opening, which is right here. Stick your hand in there, pull it out through the opening. And there we go. Get this turned inside out right quick. And I'm just going to take my finger and poke out the little corners. If you want to, you can always use some kind of tool. We've got tons, like the purple thing, if you've got one of those, which I do. I'm not sure why I didn't put that out here, but that is awesome for doing that. Poked out that little corner. Let's get this one poked out. There we go. And now, get my big old hand out of there. The next thing I'm going to do is very quickly, because it's not a humongous deal, but I'm going to take my iron. I'm just going to quickly go all around the little edges just to press them down, make it a lot easier when we go to stitch this together. And right there is our little opening spot we made. Try to do a neater job today since it's on camera for you. But for me personally, I'm not too concerned about it because nobody's going to be looking at where we joined it together. All they're going to see is your amazing personal made fabric. Stitch that up. Just run your finger over it right quick. And then give it a very quick press. We've got one more side left here. There we go. Get that out of the way. Now, the next thing we need to do is get all my strings out of the way first. We need to go all the way around the outside and just give it a quick little stitch. So I'm just going to barely go on the inside. I'm going to start with the side that I put the opening. That way I will be sure to catch my opening and not mess that up. So just barely go around the side. That way you're catching all your little edges there, so it's not going to come apart on you. Excuse me. Sometimes the dust gets the best of me. I'm not using any kind of stitch, no special kind of stitch. I'm using a plain, simple little straight stitch. I've been sewing since I was a little kid. So if you're like, oh my god, you're going way too fast. Well, maybe so. That's just how I roll. Okay, come up to the last little stretch here. Get this corner turned like that. Tack it a little bit, not like it's going to come out, but we are done with that. So, here is our awesome fabric we made. There is our lining fabric. Now you've got a decision to make. Whether you want your awesome fabric you made on the outside, which why wouldn't you? But in case you don't, whichever side you want to be the outside of your basket is what needs to be the outside of your fold. Fold it in half. Just fold it completely in half, just like that. Oh, and I forgot something. Well, I will use this bigger one. Get yourself a ruler. I am going to do this fabric started out at 15 inches. I'm going to do 3 inches, get something to write with. It really doesn't matter because we're going to stitch over top of it. But you want to go 3 inches from the bottom and mark it right there on your fabric. You can also mark it with a clip if you want to. Then we're going to measure 3 inches down. There's my 3 inches. I'm going to take the clip out and just lay my ruler right there and mark your little corners, just like that. Then we're going to, and I'm going to put a clip on it to hold it in place. Then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. We're going to go, goodness, 3 inches up and 3 inches in. Join those two little marks. And make us a stitch line. Put us a little clip to hold it in place. We've got it marked 3 inches to 3 inches, 3 inches to 3 inches. Then we're going to take it and fold it this way, long ways, but opposite sides. Just take your finger, smooth that out, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. Just measure 3 inches up from the bottom and 3 inches in from the corner. Take your ruler, join those lines, just make your nice little stitch line there, and then put your clips to hold it in place, and you guessed it, we're going to do exactly the same thing to the other side. Go up 3 inches and over 3 inches. And to lay our ruler on there, and we're going to mark it. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy little clip, put it right in place. Now we're done with the ruler. Would y'all believe we're almost done with this basket? So, get your first corner, move it to the machine, take your clip out. I would do a few little back tacks just to make sure that nothing comes apart. Just simply stitch right down the lines you've marked. Do another little back tack at the end. Put our threads right in our little thread catcher. Now go over to your other side where you've marked the next corner and repeat. Do a few little back tacks. Just a plain little straight stitch, that's all we need. This is making our little corner pockets. Then go back, snip those off. Snip these off. Well, that one was being sneaky. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side. Do a few little back tacks to hold it. Take your clip out. A few more little back tacks. Keeping our little threads. And we've got one more to sew. Take the little clip out. And the tool that I put on this is not giving me any problems when I go to stitch this together. If you were wondering about that, it is working perfectly. Okay, I was just making sure I didn't leave any big strings on there, because we want to make it look nice and neat. We are showcasing in a very own fabric, by the way. Okay, get the strings out of the way here. Push out our bottom, and looky there. Now, here's where you've got a few customizing decisions to make. You can, now this, what I did on the first basket that I made, you push your little pocket in right there. See if you can see that. push your little pocket in. And what I did was I went back, flattened it out, and I just made a little stitch right here along the previously stitched lines, which worked easy. I mean, it did not give me any trouble whatsoever. You don't have to stitch the pocket down if you don't want to. And here's another customization option. You fold your little sides down. Let me clip it so you can see. And then I'll show you the easy way I did that too. I've seen some people take these and they will use a button to hold your little flap down. All I did was I put it right under my presser foot and I made one little stitch right here. That was it. And it holds just fine. You can put a cute little button there if you want to. You can hand stitch that if you want to. And as far as the pockets, you can leave them open. You can press them flat just like this and do like I did and stitch. But you don't have to do either one of those things. But once you decide how you want to do your little corners and your little top, your basket's done. And how cute is that? I love this little blue and white polka dot. There's a lot of blue threads and stuff in here, so I thought it matched perfectly. But that's pretty much all you've got to do. And I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. If you've got any questions, please let me know down in the comments. And if there's some kind of some kind of little project you'd love to know how to make, let me know and we'll see what we can do. But in case you missed how to make your own fabric, I will link that at the end. And the very first video about going through scraps, I will put that up here at the top. Thanks everybody. Bye.